Welcome back, everyone. Bob Pompeani back, and we're going live. Rich Walsh has last year's General Manager of the Year, Executive of the Year, Jim Rutherford, who has a ring to back up another ring. Take it away, Rich.
Yeah, back-to-back cups for the Penguins, and I'm with the guy that made it happen. Jim, how does this – can you put into words how this feels for you right now?
Not really. I'm just so happy for the city, for all our fans, happy for our players. I mean, we got a group of players that are really gutsy and determined and talented. How to win. And they were going to win. There was no doubt in their minds. But some great performances from Fleury in the first 2 rounds to Murray in the last 2 rounds and to the greatest player in the game in Sid. I mean, what a player. I mean, he's now in the conversation with the top 3 or 4 greatest players of all time. He'll be in that conversation forever now.
Did you ever scratch your head during this postseason run of all the injuries, the adversity you guys overcame, and what did that mean to get here with all the things that you guys had to overcome?
If you only knew how banged up our team is right now, you would be amazed that these guys could do what they did. We had injuries all year, and then we lost Chris Letang, of course. Such a setback there. But the injuries that these guys played with through the playoffs is amazing. Someday I'm sure the stories will come out, but what a gutsy bunch of guys.
Last question, I'll let you go. How good does this feel for you? Because you put this team together. You made the moves. You made this happen.
I'm just one small part of it. You know, our coaching staff did a great job. Our players did a great job. It's a great feeling to win a championship, but this one's very special because I know how banged up our guys are, and everybody said right from the start, it's hard to win back-to-back. But what I kept saying was, nobody said that you can't, and we did.
First team to do it since the late 90s.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you at the parade.
Thanks. Look forward to it. Thanks.
All right, back to you, Bob, in the studio.
All right, Rich, thanks very much. GM Jim Rutherford, who did not trade Marc-Andre Fleury, and the goaltending was a big part of this, of course. And tonight we saw Matt Murray doing his thing once again with another shutout. And one of the big saves was on Colton Sissons, not the one we told you earlier that went in. This is a breakaway goal after the Penguins made a line change. It took a while to get going, but it was Murray who went down save, and it was a good one. If he elevated, he probably has a goal. But Murray stretched out, and it's a good thing he's 6'5" or whatever he is, because it certainly helped. All right, we want to talk about legacy now, ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of people were questioning Sidney Crosby of getting Malkin 2 years ago. Only had 1 cup in all these years. Now they backed it up. They have 3 each. Tim Benz, we'll start with you about just Malkin specifically. He was left off of the NHL's top 100, which was a joke in my opinion. What does this do for him and Crosby?
Well, I don't think by any stretch of the imagination, when their legacy was called into question by ESPN.com, was there any validity to it. All this did was enhance their legacy. Guys that have Conn Smythes and guys that have scoring titles, MVPs, and multiple Stanley Cups don't need their legacies defined by a Game 5 when the cup wasn't on the line. That was just moronic to write. But I do think they've all been enhanced by what they've done. And yeah, if they had done that top 100 list this year as opposed to last year, or next year as opposed to this year, better said, then definitely Malkin would be on it. And if we're talking about legacies, how about the guy that Rich just spoke with? He's in the Hall of Fame now, right? GM of 3 Stanley Cup championship teams.
He is.
He's in the Hall of Fame. If he wasn't before, he is now.
Yeah, and I think of just teams that I've seen during our lifetimes, and I think this duo, Crosby-Malkin, is right there. When we talk about Lemieux-Yager, when we talk about Gretzky-Messier, you could probably go back and say Bossy-Trottier or Bossy and anyone else. There were several members of those Islander teams in the early 80s, and I think they're right there with those names. These are Hall of Famers now. How many years are left in their career?
Right.
7, 8, 9, maybe another decade left in each of their careers. They're both just now cresting 30 years of age, and they're not slowing down. You saw them. They're the 2 best players in the playoffs. So that's what's exciting to me is they're legit first ballot Hall of Famers right now. You know, Malkin won't get in first ballot because there's some sort of non-Canadian prejudice against him, maybe because he's Russian, whatever it may be. But they're both Hall of Famers. We all know it, and we get to watch them for how many more years? Enjoy it.
Well, I mean, you know, during media day before the Cup started, Gino was asked this many, many times, and he said, you know, my record is Cups. And I think he'd much rather have 3 of those than a spot in the top 100 list. And look, there's going to be other lists. There's going to be a list at 125 and 150 and whatever. I think Gino's fine. That's the thing. We're asking Sid at 29 years old, what his legacy is. Maybe he wins 5 more. Maybe he wins no more. He's still a first ballot. He might be one of those guys that gets the Gretzky Lemieux treatment. The second that he's done, he goes right in. I think that's where we're at with him. And let's remember the roller coaster that this guy's been on. When Niskanen cross-checked him to the face against the Caps, we thought, he's not playing again this season. Maybe he's never playing again ever. I mean, that's what happens when he gets hit in the head like that, right? He misses one game, he comes back, and he's fabulous throughout the rest of the playoffs. But that's when we were talking about the Conn Smythe before. One of the reasons I would vote for Malkin, to me, the most important game of the playoffs was game 4, the game that Sid missed. And I think in that game, Gino said, I got this. They won, and it was sort of on from there.
And I know we're up against it, guys, but think of where we were 2 summers ago with this team. We were questioning everything, absolutely everything. Some of it had to do with the head coach. I understand that, and that head coaching change. And let's talk about Mike Sullivan's legacy as well, if we're going to talk about legacies, because everything has changed in the last 2 years. Going all the way back to the Kessel deal, this franchise has turned the page on a couple by their perspective, by the very high standards we set for them, dark couple of years by not getting as far as we thought they should. The Crosby concussion saga, all of it. Look at them now, back-to-back cups.
Yep, and not only that, you look at where they were on the market, up for sale, and now they're not. And Mario and Ron Burkle are smiling about that decision right now. It's enhanced what they have. 2 cups in a row, and they still have a young group to deal with. When we come back, you're going to hear from the man who entered the record books with Toe Blake tonight, the only coach to win 2 championships in his first 2 seasons behind the bench with a team. That's Mike Sullivan coming up next right here live on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. Penguins enter the history books back-to-back in the salary cap era.